Welcome to the Free to Soar podcast. My mission is to inspire, empower, and equip heart-centered, mission-driven, kingdom-minded business owners to show up freely and fully as the brilliant, powerful change makers that you are, so that you can lead the business and the life of your dreams. You'll enjoy vulnerable, authentic conversations with me and other heart-centered, mission-driven leaders that will spark your heart and ignite your passion to powerfully transform you, your business, and your life from the inside out. Your next level of impact and income is about unleashing the fullness of you, reprogramming your limiting beliefs and patterns, tapping into and trusting your inner wisdom, and harnessing God's power within you so that you can unlock new possibilities in your business and your life. And this show brings it to you. Step with me into a God-powered reality wilder than your wildest dreams, with freedom, impact, abundance, and enjoyment that you were created for. Let's go. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Free to Soar podcast. This is Connie Jones, and I'm so grateful that you've joined me. I love the community that we're creating. I hope that you are being inspired and empowered by these messages, and we've got yet another one for you today that I can't wait for you to get more of the wisdom and the just the brilliance of this woman. She is amazing and one of my favorite people. And so we're back with Caroline Harbin today. Caroline Harbin owns Core Marketing. Core Marketing and Strategies. She is passionate about building and uplifting people and businesses. She founded Core Marketing and Strategies to partner with business owners in connecting to the core, the COR, which is Latin for the heart, for connecting to the core of their business and build their brands from the inside out. She serves small business owners in brand consulting, digital marketing, and sales strategy to help them connect to the right audience and grow their business. And when she's not designing elevated websites, she's teaching yoga or living life to the full with her husband, Daniel, and her golden doodle, Honey. And so Caroline is full of life. She's just a radiant being. And if you haven't listened to the first part one of this podcast, which is on on your favorite platform, then be sure to do that, because it is the foundational piece that is going to set the stage for what we're going to talk about today. The foundation that Caroline and I talked about on that part one of the podcast is about being authentically you, and that is the foundational key to unlocking the greater freedom, the impact, the enjoyment, and the abundance in your business. So that is so important, such an important piece, that all of the strategy, all of the doing in your business, that is also important. But it's so crucial that you do it from this authentic, aligned place. And so that sets the foundation for you. And then today we're back and we're going to talk about the three aspects of the marketing and the strategies that Caroline works with business owners on, which are branding, marketing, digital marketing in particular, and sales strategy. And she is holistic in her approach and heart-centered in her approach. She does all of those, all from the heart-centered place, and does a beautiful job with it. And so, Caroline, welcome to the podcast again. We're so happy that you're here back with us.
Connie, thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here. Last time was a blast, and I'm excited for today.
Yeah, we're really going to dig in now, and we'll dig into the specifics, because I didn't get to really. You alluded to a lot of things last time, and you shared some of your brilliance and your wisdom, but you do things so holistically and heart-centered, which is a unique approach that I just love. I think it's the most effective, hands down approach. I coach my business owners the same way, in the things that I coach in. And so we are so aligned, and it's just fun to piggyback off of each other and share our philosophies. So let's get to the heart of it right away. And I want to hear from you. Tell me about how you have set up Core, your business Core, to service entrepreneurs, and why you set it up the way that you did with the branding, the digital marketing, and the sales strategy. Why are all of those pieces important, first of all? And then we'll talk through how do you help business owners with each of those parts, and then get into what do you see as the struggles and how do you help people move through those? So start with the overall structure of the business first. Those three
I
pieces.
love it. I love it. I love that we're diving into the practical, the next steps, the how do we do what we do, and how do we set business owners up for success. But I love what you said earlier. You said that we laid the foundation in the first episode when we talked about showing up authentically as yourself in your business. And so now as we dive into this doing part, I just want to remind everyone that doing is a reflection of being.
That's right.
We work out of our identity, out of our heart. And so I think what's so important is that first step, that connecting authentically to yourself, to your God-given design, to your specific calling that's unique to you. It's unlike anyone else's calling. So when you show up authentically, then the rest of this doing is just a reflection of your being, and it flows so naturally. So I'm excited to jump into this. I founded Core in April of this year, and I founded it because I saw a discrepancy in the marketing industry as a whole. I saw a need, and I've always heard you don't start a business because of an idea. You see a need that needs to be served, a gap that needs to be filled. And that's where you can show up with a service mentality and a servant's heart to make a difference in that space. So the gap that I saw was that everyone's doing digital marketing efforts. They're posting on their social media. They're sending out an email newsletter. We're updating our website and we're doing these things, but sometimes it just falls short. We're putting in all this effort. We're investing these marketing dollars and we're not meeting the mark. We're not reaching the heart of our future client in a way that's compelling and draws them to start a conversation with us and engage with our business. So I saw people doing all the right things, posting on the schedule, doing the things, but not necessarily experiencing an impact. And I also saw a lack of continuity. In businesses that I knew and loved. I knew the business owner. I knew their heart. I knew that they were on purpose and on mission and they were on fire for what they were doing, but their marketing efforts just weren't conveying that. So that's where I started. And I'll share with you about the sales strategy in just a minute, but I saw that the digital marketing effort was not supported by a brand that connected to the heart of the business owner. I think Simon Sinek.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to say that is so important because I see the business coaches doing the same thing. They want to move right to the strategy. They want to move right to the doing before they really get in, before they help the business owner get in touch with their essence. And that's the piece that most people miss. And and then, exactly. Totally agree. Yeah. So continue what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. That was awesome. It's so good. Yeah. We failed to tap into our superpower and we missed a lot of opportunity there. We leave a lot of revenue on the table and it's more than just revenue. We leave impact on the table, the opportunity to make a difference in our customers and client lives. So I'm with you. We can't forget that the doing comes out of being. And if we don't have that equation down in the right order, we're selling ourselves and our client short.
That's right.
So for me, I knew these incredible business owners and their hearts and their purpose and their mission. And I was seeing a lack of continuity in the execution of their marketing, even though they were investing the time or the resources or whatever. I was also seeing that oftentimes in digital marketing agencies, you meet with the sales team and they're amazing and so awesome. And you get so excited about a plan and maybe you even do some branding work, but then it's your task or just passed to somebody else that's maybe a junior level social media person in the organization or outsourced or whatever it might be. And there's a lack of continuity, which results in a lack of efficacy in that branding and marketing effort. So I saw this need and I was like,
so good.
I can do something about that. Simon Sinek says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek and his work and have been reading and studying his stuff for a long time. And I really believe that they don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. But here's the thing,
Mhm.
we have to communicate that. That has to be
That's
clear.
right.
And so
That's right.
I help business owners start with why, to really
Yeah.
that thing that gets them excited to get out of bed in the morning, the thing that, as you would say, Connie, lights a fire in their soul, that is a part of their essence,
Mhm.
that's aligned with who they are authentically as a business owner, and help
Yeah.
them articulate that in a way that's compelling, it's clear, and it reaches the heart of their future customer. So
Yeah.
that's the heart of the branding. Is we clear the clutter of vague and confusing messaging. We wipe out the extra fluff that's like, well, we're a third generation family run business. Sorry, no one cares. Why do you
No,
do
right?
what you do?
Right.
Why
Yes.
do you do what you do? People want to know what sets your heart on fire, and they want to be
Yeah.
invited to join you in the journey of
Yeah.
that. And so that's where I saw the need, and that's where I started, was on the foundation of brand consulting. From
Mm.
there, we bring in digital marketing strategically with that brand
Yeah.
in mind. And I am the gatekeeper of the brand to make sure that we're
Right.
not passing something off to an executor that doesn't know your heart and your mission, or maybe even worse, doesn't know really who that target audience is that you want to reach. So I help
Right.
make sure that our digital marketing efforts, we do the same thing that a lot of other digital marketing agencies do, say, the social media, web design, email, ads, all that.
Yeah.
I make sure that's aligned with your why and is
Mhm.
clearly communicating that
Yeah.
branding identity, that message, that strategy that we have, to share your heart with the heart of your ideal future client.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And so, after you, and so the talk about the three, the three,
Yeah.
dive into the three categories.
Yeah, totally. So that I talked on branding just a little bit there, and really
Yeah.
my heart behind that, and why I ventured into that. We've talked digital
Yeah.
marketing, and I'm so excited to get into the specifics of like some tips that even some business owners listening today can take and apply in their
Yes.
business. But it's interesting. The sales strategy came later for me. I started working
Mm,
with clients. We had built these beautiful brands, compelling language. It was there. We were communicating it across their digital marketing. And I saw another need, and
a
that was
need.
strategy.
Yeah.
And that's where the third
Yeah.
part of core really came into being. And so that's what we do. We do sales strategy. My background is sales. And I think we even talked about this a little bit in the previous episode, but I know you said you had experienced this too, but I found that business owners that don't have a extensive sales background maybe didn't have the tools and resources they needed in terms of
Yep.
customer journey and workflows and systems and processes as it relates to their sales, their prospecting, things of that nature.
Yes.
Pipeline management, that type of stuff was lacking. And so I saw that need, and Core has been able to build a sales strategy program that helps and serves its clients get the person
Mm,
that we're getting in the door across the finish line, really communicating that value proposition from our branding
yeah.
language in a way that helps to close sales.
Yeah. Oh, and it's just such a beautiful flow that, you recognize this need begets this need begets this need, and you absolutely close the circle and make the process holistic, like I said, and it's so helpful. And then it comes across consistent and holistic with nothing missing, because that's oftentimes is, we want to throw things out there,
Mhm.
but throwing things out there without good strategy, without effective strategy, heart-centered effective strategy is not very effective at all. So,
No.
what do you see as, and you are the expert at what you do, but what do you like for those business owners out there who are, how do people know that, like, how do they know they have gaps? How do they know that they need support with marketing? And branding and sales strategy, what are the telltale signs that, whether they want to hire you or whether they just kind of need to know, okay, why is this not working for me? What's going on? How do you, what kinds of signs do you see?
Yeah. So some of the things that I would look for, I'll
Yeah.
start with the branding would be like, um, if you're struggling to give your elevator pitch, if someone goes, tell me
Mm,
about your business, and you go, or maybe you
yeah.
share about your business, but it took you 30 minutes to get everything out and you feel like you didn't quite articulate the heart of the business or the services in a compelling way that reached that person and inspired them
Yes.
to take next steps. I would say if you are struggling in any way, shape, or form with communicating why it is what you do, and how you do
Hmm.
it, then you need to
Hmm.
revisit your branding. Your branding should be so simple, so clear, and so heart centered that when someone goes, hey, Connie, what do you do? Just like it does naturally from you, it flows out of you beautifully, clearly, succinctly, and in a
Hmm.
compelling way. I can remember sitting down with you for the first time. I'm making you our star example. But I remember, I remember sitting down with you and asking you about your business. And I was like so invested. I wanted to hear more of what you had to say. You communicated in such a clear and inspiring way that invited me
Yeah.
or anyone who's listening to you to want to be a
Yeah.
part of what you're doing. So I would
Yeah.
say to our business owners listening, if you don't feel like you can, in a minute or less, share a really
Yeah.
compelling and inviting pitch, if you will, about your business, then I would revisit your branding. Something else
Yeah.
that I always tell my business owners is that we know we're being successful when our customers start saying our branding right back to us.
Oh,
When
yes.
they share
Yeah.
our mission, I recently did a video project with a client, and it was incredible, brand new business, but had been up and going for a little bit. And we had a lot of client testimonials. That's one thing I've incorporated a lot through business throughout the years, is that client testimonial. So we brought in clients. And if I'm just telling you, I was just so happy when I heard every single
Yeah.
client testimonial share our mission. Our mission statement
Yeah.
was so ingrained in what we do that the clients
Yes.
were sharing it right back and unprompted, just beautiful. So we know that's
Yes.
clear. It's something that people want to take hold of, and they want to join us in that. So that's what I would
Yeah.
say for your
So,
brand.
yeah. So what you're actually talking about is community. You're creating community. And
Yeah.
I think that's what, business owners, we get in our heads so much and
Mhm.
we want to make the actions rote and routine and logical and productive, yet we don't we forget our why. We forget the
Mhm.
the the deeper reason why we're doing all this, and we don't invite others into the process. Into, you called it a journey in the beginning. we don't
Mhm.
we don't we forget that we're inviting others in to walk out our journey with us, and that's such a
Yes.
different concept than
Mm.
throwing something out there to someone and seeing, or throwing something out to see if it's going to, throw it on the wall to see if it's going to stick.
Yeah. Right.
And I want to just say, that really just impacted me right now in my own, and you know, I do heart centered marketing
Yes.
in in my business, but to hear that we need to remember to invite people into our journey.
Mm.
And so I want everybody to be thinking about, like, if you could think about what you're creating. I always like to think about it like you're the master artist and you are creating your
Thank you.
masterpiece.
Oh.
And that's an ongoing, organically, living, breathing thing. That's what our business is. It's our artwork every day. It's the expression of the essence of who we are. And if we
Yes.
can think like that and think in terms of our marketing and our branding like that we are expressing our essence and we're inviting other people in, and we're creating community in our businesses just like we are in our personal lives.
Mhm.
You want your friends to get to know you and you want to spend time with them. You want to share all the things of you. But why do we do it differently in our business? Why do we all of a sudden close things off and get so logical and make it so hard when really it's just expressing the essence of who we are just in any other relationship. But we
Mm.
forget that we're creating
Beautiful.
community and culture
Connie, that
in our
is so
businesses.
powerful. So
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
I think you hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head. That's it. It's about going out and making those connections. It is creating
Yeah.
community. And that
Yeah.
is another sign that you might need some support, or maybe you
Mm.
just revisit with a coach like you, that heart-centered
Hmm.
community building. If
Right.
if you're putting stuff out there through your marketing or your website or whatever, that's just like, here's our mission statement, here's our services, here's what we do. That's so me focused. Apply that in the same context of, what if you tried to build a relationship like that? I don't think that would go
Hmm.
very well. It wouldn't for me, you know?
Mm-mm.
If
No.
you were just like, me, this is what I do. But what if you connect? What if you relate? What if you reach out and ask a lot of questions in a way
Yeah.
that is inviting and welcoming? And I can't agree with you more. So I think I see
Yeah.
that a little bit. I see business owners just putting out their stuff on social media, or sending an email newsletter without thinking, how am I connecting? How am I relating? How am I engaging my audience? And that's
Hmm.
another sign, like, hey, maybe revisit that.
Yeah.
We want to build a beautiful and vibrant and diverse uh, community of connection, of
That's
people
right.
who are learning from us, we're learning from them. That's the cool thing about having a business, is that you get to build your community around that. And I couldn't have said it
Yeah.
better than you just said it. That's beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, you inspired it. So I love those words, journey. And I mean, there's such a softness in that rather than this, than the strategic, and strategy is so important
Oh
in
yeah.
its own right. However, we can't have strategy without the softness. We can't
Mhm.
have the doing without the being, like you said.
Mhm.
And we just forget that. So what are there any other because I switched gears on you, and are there any other telltale signs that come to mind right now about that you see business owners typically struggle with?
Yeah, I would say, so we talked about the branding. I said, if you're having trouble
Yep.
articulating your why in a clear and concise way, the digital marketing, if you're not getting a lot of engagement, or if you're putting out content that's just like, here's what I do, but I'm not inviting you into a journey and into a community, that would be my note on digital marketing. And then lastly, on sales strategy, if we don't have a lot of leads coming in the door, then I would say that is a sign.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yep.
yeah, what does it look like? What's your lead gen like? What
Yeah.
what does your pipeline look like? I would definitely say that would be something else that I would consider a sign there, to revisit your messaging, revisit your strategies in your marketing, and make sure you're doing that from that heart-centered place. And then maybe get some support on the sales strategy side if that's not your superpower or your
Mhm.
strength. That's a great opportunity to tap into community and to find someone who's able to help coach you or support you in resourcing that sales
Mhm.
strategy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so, and let's talk about, I want to just define lead gen and what's our pipeline look like. You want to
Yeah.
share about that, or do you want to just kind of clarify what that is, just for anybody out there who might not know or might not be clear
Yeah, absolutely. So
on
the way I
on
view
why that's important? Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The way I view lead gen, and Connie, this is so inspired by you and some conversations
oh,
that we've had. And
yeah,
I feel like it's what makes your heart come alive and helps you connect with other people. You talk
that's
about that all
it.
the time, Connie. It's not, when we think lead gen and we think, oh my gosh, I have to build an email list and I have to post on social this
Right.
many times and I have to go to this networking event or that. As you say, Connie, it's the shift from the have to the get to. And
Yep.
that's something
Yep.
that I was really hoping we could kind of dive into today. Connie,
Yeah.
I'd love for you to share how you coach people in heart-centered lead gen, because that's something that's really impacted me and my business. And then I've been able to turn and share to several of my business owners to
Yeah.
experience joy and freedom and fun in building that prospect list and that lead gen, all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Well, and again, it comes out of a need that I saw and that you see. We see the same need, I'm sure. And you know what I was going to bring up a few minutes ago was what I'm sure you see and what I see a ton with business owners is business owners get stuck working in their business so much that they don't even think. They may look up. I call it the difference between a goat and an eagle. You know, as business owners, as the visionary CEOs of our business, we need to be being the eagle. We need to be flying 30,000 foot above our business and working on our business and seeing all of the things, not being the goat eating grass every day in the middle of our business where we can't see outside and we don't know what's going on, you know?
So good.
And yeah, we know the day to day and we're in the day to day, but we're reacting to all the doing and all the things that have to get done that are dependent on us as the leader. And we're not actually intentionally stepping back and doing the things that grow the business or that really our efforts as the business owner need to be focused on things that make the cash register ring or things that are going to grow the business towards its bigger vision. And if we're not spending our time and our energy doing those things, then we are stagnating our business. We're limiting our business. It feels productive and we're addicted to busyness. So it feels productive to us, but how productive is it really? How is it really moving the business forward? It's actually, we're just spinning and we're staying stuck and we don't realize we're making little incremental progress, but we're not making the 10x shifts that we really want to be making that are going to move the business forward. And so I'm sure you see that often with business owners. And that's why it's so important that if a business owner, and I want to talk about this, and then I'll come back to lead generation and how that applies. If we're not paying attention to what's in our pipeline, meaning what's coming down the pipe, who's in our community, who are we inspiring, who are we engaging in our community, in our audience to pay attention to what we're doing, to invite them into the journey that we're on in the world, the changes that we're making, and invite them on whatever, there's a continuum of that. Maybe they're just engaged a little bit. Maybe they're, contemplating working with us. Maybe they're, they're a client or they're a past client and we want to keep them engaged, or they're a prospect and we're wanting to engage them, and move them into sales, into purchasing from us, and receiving our services. No matter where we are in that process, we've got to, as the business owner, be very aware of filling that pipeline. That's our job, whether we like it or not. But the good news is, one, we don't have to do that ourselves. And that's where we hire people who are experts in it like you. We don't have to directly do it ourselves, but we do need to be spending a lot of time and energy on it in our business, making sure that someone is doing it, hiring it out, but still strategizing with that expert and making sure that we're implementing that in our business, because that still is our job as the visionary CEO. And then closing those sales is the second job, and then making sure our processes and our systems are streamlined so that we are giving the clients a consistent experience, an excellent consistent experience.
So good
in doing business with us. And so I think what you were asking me about is, that is the lead generation process. We call it lead gen. Everybody hates the term lead, well, unless you're a lead gen expert and you just dig that stuff, and they're very few and far between. But we all need to be focused on our lead gen and our sales strategy in our business. And the thing that I see is that business owners don't know how to do that, or they don't give it the best of them. They don't give it, they give it their leftovers. They're busy doing the 95% of the things that they think they need to be doing to get things done to be, quote, productive. That is not really most productive. And they're missing the lead gen, and they're missing being intentional about their marketing, their sales strategy, their branding. There's a low level of intentionality and effort and energy there. And most of the time it's confusion. It's uncertainty. It's not knowing that they need to, not understanding how important it is. And then not knowing what to do. And so any one of those is, if that's where anybody out there listening, if that's where you are and you're not sure, the good news is that's where people are love to come in and support you in your business. You don't have to be the doer of all. You don't need to be the doer of all things. You need to be able to be freed up to work in your zone of genius that you and only you can do, that no one else can do quite like you. And so that's where somebody like Caroline is so important in your business, is she can come in and work with you, partner with you. You may be the CEO of your business, or you are the CEO of your business. She can come in and be the CMO of your business, the chief marketing officer, and take all of that off your plate. But y'all can strategize together to create this beautiful strategy and implementation of that strategy to make sure that things are moving, and that your pipeline stays full, and that your sales are flowing in and closing well. But so that's the whole, that's where you come in. Some business owners like to engage in that more than others. And you can talk about that in just a second. But I think what you were asking me, it's a long way to get around to the answer to the question that you asked, is how I see lead gen. And how I see lead gen is, lead gen does not have to be a have to or a should. Lead gen should not feel heavy. It should not feel burdensome, and it should not be something you dread. Lead gen, if you are going to choose to do it yourself, or whatever parts of it you are going to choose to do yourself in it, then it should be fun. It should be exciting. It should be sustainable. It should be something that you love doing, that is a reflection of your natural essence, your natural rhythms, it's what makes you come alive. It's what doesn't feel hard to you. And let me give you some examples. For instance, instead of me, I'm an in-person person. I'm an in-person, I'm most effective in person. I'm heart-centered. I'm warm. People, when they feel that, that's how I connect. So yes, I do some social media. Yes, I do some video. Yes, I do, the things that are, that I, that are important for me to do to create effective marketing in my business. However, I do them in ways that I feel joyful about. I do them in ways that I feel aligned with. I do them in ways that don't feel hard and heavy to me, not by this formula of what someone says I have to do, and if I don't want to do it that way, then I don't do it that way because I'm not going to do something because the fruit of how we do things determines the fruit of the results that we get in what we're doing. The other things that I have recognized is the most effective lead gen are community gatherings for me. It's gathering people. It's making organic connections. It's developing relationships with people that I enjoy. And then business comes from that. And that's what I teach in my programs, is how I really help people get in touch with, what do you feel led to do? Like, what would light you on fire? What do you want to create in the world that naturally, organically creates your pipeline for you, where you're not having to do another thing, but you get to enjoy who you are, and then your people come in that way. And so that's what you were referring to. So
Yes.
I guess I'll let you interject on that.
It's so beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
as a part of your coaching programs, I've been able to soak
Yeah.
that message up and then take that to clients because I think you're right. I think a lot of people don't like the idea of lead gen, but I think it's
Yeah.
because lead gen is so oftentimes associated with this system, this checklist, these things that are not organically inspired by the way that we were created
That's
to
it.
build community. But as you said, when we live aligned with our heart and we do the thing that sets our soul on fire, we do the thing
Yeah.
and we engage in the place where we like can't help but have a great time. That, in my
Yes.
opinion, is a superpower that then attracts the right client for you. Because if you're going about and doing the things that are not aligned with your authentic self, going back to the doing that's not aligned with the being, you're going to accidentally fill your pipeline with the clients that are not the right target for you. They're not the right fit.
That's it.
But when we show up as
That's it.
authentically ourselves, our doing as a result of our being, we not only
Yeah.
enjoy building business, but we experience
Yeah.
the fruit of attracting the people that were meant for your business.
Exactly. It's the same as our relationships. It is no different. It's like, you can go make yourself do something that you don't want to do, and you're not gonna if you don't enjoy it, the people that you're gonna want to spend time with are not gonna enjoy it either. Or if they do, then they're probably not aligned, not very aligned people for you. You don't have much in common. And so in our business, it's the exact same way. If something's fun for you, the people that are your people that are attracted to you, that are magnetized by your energy, they're going to be attracted to that same thing. So if it's fun for you, it's fun for your people.
I
And
love it.
so it just makes sense. And we think too much about it and we make it too hard when it really doesn't have to be. It can really, truly be organic. And we've lost that in the business world for the most part. And so that's what I just love, inviting business owners back into the fun in their business,
Yes.
and rethinking things, rethinking why they're doing what they're doing. Why are you doing that? Why do you spend your time and energy doing that when you complain about it and you're miserable every second of the way of the day doing it?
Mm,
Why are you doing it? And I hear people say so often, well, because I have to. Like, how will I get clients if I don't do
that's
that?
who.
And I go, but how? Right? Who says? But then also, how is it working for you now? Like, first
Good
of all, it's
point.
not sustainable. And is it really producing the fruit that you want it to produce? And so that's where if business owners, where I can help business owners is if they are doing if those parts of their business that they want to do themselves, or that they have to do themselves because just for whatever reason, that's where they are in the stage of their business. They are
Sure.
doing that for themselves, or they just want to learn to get better at that. Or maybe they don't know who to hire yet, or if they need to hire someone yet, then that's where I help them. And then we get really clear on how they want to do it, how that process looks for them, if they want to hire somebody to do it, what parts they want to do for themselves versus what parts they want to hire out, and then who is the right who for them to help them do all of that, so that they've got this plan that just feels really good to them, where there aren't that many have tos in the business, because business needs to be fun. Why are we doing it if we're miserable? What
So
there
good.
is, yeah. And so, and I know you see that too. And so then that's when you come in, is when business owners recognize that they need help with that and they want help with that. And they either, hire you full time as their chief marketing officer to do that, or they, hire you for whatever part or piece
Sure.
or certain aspect of their business
Mhm.
that they do need that help on. And then it probably expands into more. more support
Yeah.
from you
And we
as you
build
go.
that strategy customized to each client, what makes their heart come
Yeah.
alive. So, for instance, I have one
Yeah.
client and she loves to speak. She's an incredible, gifted, anointed speaker. And so we are targeting her marketing efforts to give her more and more opportunities to pop up on a stage
Yeah.
and share her wisdom with
Yeah.
others as a coach and a speaker. And that is great for lead gen. So that's an
Yes.
amazing outlet for her, podcasting, speaking, all the things. It becomes easy for her. It's organic.
Yes.
It's fun. She's
It's
having the time
natural.
of her life building her business. But for somebody else, she was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to speak. Are you kidding? I can't. But she's an extraordinarily gifted writer. So we're doing a lot of blog posts and that helps SEO. And we're doing that frequently on the website and providing that as
Yes.
huge value add resources to her target audience. But my point is, and I think we've kind of talked about this a couple of times in the previous podcast and this one, you have
Yeah.
to do what's most aligned for you. And there is no one size fits all. Just like your
Yeah.
business looks nothing like your competitor's business because you're totally different people. You have a different
That's
calling, a
it.
different purpose, a different audience. And so your strategy, while I'm not an advocate of throwing a strategy out the window, the strategy is so important and critical to
Oh,
the
of course.
business's
Me too.
success. Oh, I know. And I know
Sure.
you are too. The
Yeah.
strategy has to be customized for you. And working with somebody
Right.
like you or somebody onboarding with Core, we build that custom strategy that helps them
Yeah.
really connect to what sets them on fire. And it's fun and it's
Yeah.
easy and it's fruitful.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. What do you see are the greatest struggles or resistances that business owners have towards asking for support in their business with their marketing, their branding, their sales strategy? What's standing in the way of everyone not having someone like you coming in and helping them create that aligned strategy and implementing that?
Based on my experience, I've seen a lot of people have maybe not had the best experience working with someone who's just doing digital marketing. Maybe, like I said, they
Yeah.
meet with a sales team and it's fun and it's exciting and it seems great, but the marketing isn't effective because there isn't that continuity between maybe a really great salesperson who sat down with them
Yeah.
and cast a vision for what it could look like, and then the implementation being outsourced without a strong focus that aligns with the
Yeah.
heart of the business owner. It keeps the brand very
Yeah.
consistent, and then an effective sales strategy that they're following. So I see a lot of over promise, under deliver, a lack
Yeah.
of branding continuity, and
Yeah.
then somebody who may be a great graphic designer and can put together beautiful social media posts, but doesn't have the sales background and sales strategy that actually is creating a pipeline through that social media page or through that website. And so I think people get frustrated by that. And that's
Yeah.
what I was seeing. I was seeing people, my friends, business owners that were frustrated by that. And so that's where I
Yeah.
decided, okay, we need to have a holistic approach to support the
Yeah.
business owner. So I would say, I think people do. I think they've had some bad experiences there, and that's
Some bad
understandable.
experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, absolutely. And then, do you I would imagine another resistance would be that business owners are afraid to admit they don't know. Do you see any of that? And how do you have some of that? Or and also another resistance I would imagine is, wait, I don't have the money, like the cost. What's the cost of that?
Mm,
And let's talk about that for just a minute. Let's talk about how you help business owners work through either of those. Maybe that's not maybe business owners don't have any problem admitting that they don't know. And maybe they don't know what they don't know. They don't know that about what a difference someone like you can make in their business. Maybe that's more of what it is. And then let's address the cost thing and the return on their investment.
yeah, that's a very good point. So speaking to the cost, I also noticed that as I was dreaming and planning to build this business. I think I remember sharing with you
Yeah.
at one point that the quality work is costly. exorbitantly costly that really is out of reach for a lot of small business owners. As a small business owner myself, I totally understand that. As you're starting up, you don't have a $25,000 a month marketing budget. We're not planning to spend between 100 and 200,000 a year on our marketing.
That's right.
Then maybe we go for something that is a little bit more within budget, and the quality is just not there. Not to mention the branding, not to mention the strategy, but it just looks bad. And that's not a good reflection of your business. And so I do think that it's important to find somebody who can produce that quality for you. Really like a next level, beautiful marketing effort that it represents your business well. It reflects the same excellence that you have in every other area of your business. Your marketing should not fall short of the excellence that you have in every other area of your business, because it is that virtual handshake. It is that first impression. And that's important. It needs to be done with excellence and with intentionality. But I don't believe that it should break the bank. And I do believe that it should be accessible. Connie and I have talked about this. I know. I think it's important that the small business owner should be able to be resourced with marketing efforts and strategy and support that
no doubt
that isn't stressing the business's financials, but gives plenty of opportunities for growth. So I offer a variety of packages, and I'm continuing to work on scaling different opportunities for business owners to come in to experience CORE at different levels, whether it's a direct one-on-one service with me or growing into different packages. My hope is that it can be accessible so that wherever you are as a small business owner, you have an opportunity to connect your brand messaging, your strategy, your digital marketing, your sales in a way that supports your business's success without breaking the bank.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah. And I do think that that's, that is a big hindrance that keeps people, or they can do it once. Want to talk about bad experiences. They can do it once and they throw all of their extra or, maybe even, dip into their personal savings and throw everything into, this year-long program and then don't get the results. And then they're left with this bad taste in their mouth because they're not seeing the results and they've, invested all of these resources and it wasn't effectively aligned with really what they needed in particular. And that's what I just love about you and that you have such, you're so conscientious and make sure that it's the right fit and that it's, an individualized plan for people. Well, I know that we have got to close up here in the next couple of minutes, but I want to open it up for you. If there's anything else that you'd like to share that is, that you're passionate about saying often to business owners, that you want business owners to know that, that person's out there who just needs to hear something and they're struggling with something or want the encouragement. Is there anything else that you want to offer them to encourage them or empower them in their marketing, branding, or their sales strategy?
I love that question, Connie. I think it ties back to our first podcast where we talked about showing up as your authentic self as the business owner. And honestly, it reminds me of some conversations that I've had with clients recently who are wrestling with that list of the should do's instead of the things that they get to do. And my encouragement to my clients and to the business owners listening today is when you show up as your authentic self in your business, you get to pursue the things that make your heart come alive. You get to engage in those things, which will naturally and organically connect your heart to the heart of your future customers in a way that's easy and fun. And that's the way we'll build your strategies. That's what I was telling my clients. We've built their marketing strategies in a way that's very aligned with that. And so for someone today who's doing their own marketing and they're wondering what would be a great next step for them, I would encourage them to really spend time working with somebody like you, find their heart, their essence, their why, and then communicate that in the way that's most authentic and most connected to their mission and to their heart,
Yeah.
and that'll connect to the future customer in a powerful way. And when you have that heart connection, influence happens and decisions are made, and your business will grow.
Mm. Oh, that's so true. So true. It can't help but grow when you're fueling something that is alive and organic or, alive and breathing, then it is going to naturally expand when you're fueling it with life, and so it's going to grow. It's just like any other living thing. And so I love the way that you explain that. That's so, so awesome. And it's just amazing to watch you do the work that you do in the world. So how do people find out more about you? I know we'll share we've got your social media handles. We'll share that in the notes. What else how do you want them to connect with you or to find out more about working with you if they're interested?
Yeah, they're welcome to check out social media in the show notes, as you said, Connie. And also my email is Caroline at core is Latin for heart. So it's COR marketing.co. You're welcome to shoot me an email. I offer complimentary consultation. So if someone is in the phase of just dreaming about where their business could go or what heart-centered marketing could look like, I'd love to have that conversation and chat with you.
Yes.
So feel free to send me an email or connect with me on social media.
Oh, awesome. Yes. And please reach out to her, you guys. You'll not be the same after having an experience with Caroline. That's for sure. So Caroline, thank you for having the courage to put your heart out there in the world. It does take courage. It's vulnerable. It's, the easy thing to do is to hide our magic. The easy thing to do is just play it safe. The easy thing to do is just go with the status quo, but that comes at a cost. And it's not the way that we were created. And the fact that you, put your heart out there and that you inspire others to connect with their own heart and to align with their essence and to pull the gold out of them and help them expand their impact and their mission in the world is just, there's nothing more rewarding and nothing more honorable than that. And so I have the utmost admiration and respect for you. So thank you for making a difference.
Thank you, Connie. This was so fun. I
Yes.
loved getting to connect with you as always. It was a blast.
Oh, well, I'm so glad. And I appreciate your expertise and your wisdom. And you guys, I hope that you were totally empowered and inspired today. I hope that it opened your eyes, that you were awakened to how it can be different, and that business doesn't have to be hard and burdensome, and that business can be fun and life-giving. And if that's not your experience, then definitely reach out and let us help you and guide you and support you in creating the journey that you do want it to be, because it can be the way that you want it. It's yours for after all. And so let it be yours. Let it be your process. Let it be your journey. Let it be organically aligned and authentically you. And if you've if this inspired you or impacted you, then please share this with a friend or loved one. And we'll see you right back here for another episode of the Free to Soar podcast next time. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me today on the Free to Soar podcast, where we empower and equip you to lead the business and the life of your dreams with freedom, impact, enjoyment, and abundance. I look forward to our next episode together, and I invite you to subscribe to be notified of new episodes as they are released. Please share this or your favorite episode with a friend or a loved one, and I'd love it if you'd leave a review on iTunes and Spotify.